What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Coach Joe here with Heartletics.com. I'm joined today with Coach Jimmy and Coach Mark, and today is going to be a fun conversation. We're going to be talking all about the difference and mainly whole foods versus processed foods, like a lot of supplements, protein powders, protein bars, different things like that. And this is going to be a fun conversation because we don't really have anything planned out. It's just going to be kind of like a nice debate almost, and learning the difference on what works, what doesn't work, but most importantly, just like anything that we talk about at Heartletics, it's finding out what works specifically for you, your body type, your goals, and mainly your lifestyle. So let's get started. Coach Mark, why don't you take the floor first and kind of share with everybody, let me ask you, right? What is the difference in case anybody's watching this and they don't know the difference between whole foods and processed foods? What's the difference?
So basically, a whole food is something like where you're like, if you have a protein goal, right, and you're getting that protein, straight from things like, natural sources, chicken, turkey, meat, fish, stuff that isn't, processed like in a factory to put it together and make it, easy access. Stuff that requires, more preparation, etc. But, has a little less, shall we say, doctoring, so to speak, in the lab. And a lot of guys, have asked me like, is it okay if I'm getting my, protein, from, let's say, more protein powder, protein bars versus, whole foods. And my philosophy on that has always been that everything's relative, right? So like, think of my life pre-Heartletics, right? What was I eating, right? I was eating candy and I was eating, yeah, it was processed, but it was also not protein. It was not healthy. It was just processed and junk.
Yes.
So my view is, it's better to be eating, maybe processed, but it's better for me than what I was eating before, right? Everything we talk about 1% better, right? I'd rather be doing that and be healthy, right? Clearly, at the weight that I'm at now, I'm a lot healthier than I was beforehand, regardless of how.
What did you, just curious, man? You're the first time I'm ever talking to you, Mark. What
Right.
did you start off at?
Yeah. So 257 was my starting weight.
What was
And
body fat percentage?
35.
Okay, what are you at now?
Now I am at roughly 167, 68, a bit bouncing kind of back and forth around there, and right around just about 15% body fat.
That's sick.
Sick. So a little difference.
Yeah, a little difference.
But yeah, so I mean, my view is it has to be sustainable, right? I was talking to someone over the weekend, who's considering Heartletics, and he was saying, he has, like one of his main hobbies is taking photographs of bands. And he was saying, I'm a convenience store guy, because, I'm out of shows late, I'm hungry, I'm going to the convenience store and getting, soda, Snapple, whatever, and snacks. And I said, look, that's part of, I may not be taking photographs, but music's a part of my life too. I love to go to see bands and stuff like that. And I'm still hitting the convenience store afterwards too. The difference is I'm walking out with, water or, flavored water or whatever, and a protein bar. So, it still means that I can live my life the way I want to live it and do the things that I want to do. It's just a matter of like shifting exactly what I'm picking up, at the store. So I think that's an important part. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to go to the convenience store at, midnight after taking Cole to a rap concert and grab, a chicken, that's not practical. But I can still grab a protein bar, which I did on Saturday after taking Cole to see Mavi, who, if anyone knows who that is, I didn't. It was a lot of fun, but it's a way to incorporate this into your life. So I'd rather be eating processed protein than a Snickers, not a protein Snickers or whatever else I might have grabbed there, or brownies, cookie.
Yeah, no, this is good because you summarized, hey, I was X amount of weight, right? And all I did was make a small little tweak, right? We always like to say that that's what coaching is with Heartletics. If someone's signing up for baseball and your coach is making you go to the basketball court and dribble a basketball and shoot 3 throws, you might not have the best baseball coach, so it's just like, we want to make sure we figure out those small little tweaks. I know if Coach Brian was here, he's completely different from you. He's different from me, different from you, Jimmy, right? And he talks a lot. Same thing with Marion too, right? These guys eat a lot of wholesome foods, and so if anybody's wondering, like, hey, you just heard about, Coach Mark eating all this processed foods, right? The supplements, protein powders, protein bars, and he's seen incredible results. Coach Brian, Coach Marion, they're opposites, but they both have seen incredible results as well. It just works better for them, better for their lifestyle. They have more time to meal prep. They have more time to prepare their meals. Obviously, like, what's going to fill you up more? Having a protein shake or eating a chicken breast or some steak? Obviously, chewing your food, consumption, right? Digestion process, everything like that. It's more satiating. It's more filling, right? And that's great. But at the end of the day, it's just like, you can take the right route or you can take the left route, and regardless, right, they both have protein. It's going to get you those end results. Coach Jimmy, what about you, brother? What's the like your experience? Obviously, you can share a little bit about where you were before Heartletics to where you are now, and maybe talk a little bit about the things that you tried before in the past, and then progressing to what works best for you now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when I started, I was 430 pounds, and my diet, I was doing intermittent fasting, which how I did it would be I wouldn't eat all day, and then at night I just eat whatever I want. That's pretty much how I did it. Other things I tried in the past would be low carb diets, and Weight Watchers, things like that. But I was always under the impression that in order to lose weight, be healthy, I had to eat clean. I had to eat chicken, baked chicken, broccoli, and that's just not me, man. It's not sustainable for me. I don't like vegetables really, and you can only eat so much baked chicken before.
True.
It's just not sustainable, at least for me. So, when I came into Heartletics and gained the knowledge of what Coach Joe was just talking about, as long as you're getting the protein in, you're going to reach the destination. So I took the knowledge, and once you gain the knowledge, you fit it into how your life works. Some people have the time to prep their food. They like eating the whole food, and that's great for them. But for me, it just doesn't work that way. So like Mark, I use a lot of protein powder, protein bars. I don't, if you guys follow us, what the protein sparing diet is, where you pretty much eat just protein throughout the day, and then you save your carbs and fats for, the nighttime. And that's pretty much how I live my life on a daily basis. I get most of my protein is done before dinner. That way I can enjoy my dinner, have within reason, pretty much, whatever I want. And it's sustainable for me. I like it. I love it. And it works, man. I mean, I'm down 130 pounds in a year. I gained muscle. My body fat was probably over 50% when I started, down to under 30%. So, and that's all doing protein shakes, two protein, but the 2-2-2 method. So
yeah. Jimmy, so like with you, for example, with Mark, right, was making those small little tweaks, right? It sounds like it was the same thing with you, because I remember when we had our qualification call, when you were a client applying for Heartletics, I was like, bro, you're 430 pounds, man. You're eating next to nothing. Like, It doesn't matter how much protein you're consuming. You're not getting enough food to actually burn body fat. Like, think about it like, a car, right? You need gas in the tank to get from point A to point B. Your health and fitness goals are pretty much the same. And so with you, right? Hey, we couldn't do obviously meal prep because it's not convenient for you. We couldn't do the 6 small meals, right? Which I don't know many people that can actually stick with that. I can't stick with that. I hate when people say that, like, oh, I just eat 6 small meals a day. Like, I need to eat my big food, right? I need to eat those big meals. I'm Italian, right? I like to stuff, like literally stuff my face. I like that. It's enjoyable for me. But regardless, it was okay. You were doing 1 meal a day, intermittent fasting, right? Saving the bulk of your calories and, barely getting any protein in that 1 meal. Okay, how do we make an adjustment with Jimmy's life? Okay, maybe the protein sparing, right? The 2x2x2 method, which, in case you guys don't know, it's very simple. You're having basically 2 protein shakes a day. Every time you have a protein shake, just put in 2 scoops of protein powder instead of 1. That way you can double up on it and have at least 2 protein bars a day, like 2 by 2 by 2, and that's it. And realistically, you can have anywhere from 120 to 150, 160 grams of protein just by following that method. And then you were doing that, and then obviously like, it's like, okay, you're better off to hitting your protein goal, having some other snacks in there, etc. Now you have the big bulk of your calories to, one, make it very easy for you to hit your protein goal for dinner, maybe a nighttime dessert, but also you have all these carbs, you have all these fats kind of saved up to where if you're ever going out to eat, it's sustainable, it's enjoyable. You don't have to worry about eating salads and chicken breasts and cutting out the carbs, right? You can make it very enjoyable for your lifestyle.
Yeah, not to mention, man, I mean, at one point, the amount of protein that I need for a guy my size, I mean, I don't know about you, maybe some people probably can, but I can't eat that much whole food in a day. So I need to get it in using the powders and stuff like that. I'm just not interested in eating that much either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do anything else.
Yeah, I would 100% agree, right? My same thing with me. I got protein bars right here all day long. In between my breaks, between calls and meetings, I go upstairs, I make some coffee, put a scoop of protein powder in there, right? Have some protein coffee. Like I live on that, right? Typically up until when my wife and my son gets home, and then we can have a dinner, sit down together, enjoy that quality time as a family. So, hey, there you go right there, Mark. I got the protein coffee. But at the end of the day, like I will say this, having wholesome, healthy foods, obviously, sure, that's more sustainable, right? As far as society purposes goes, right? As far as like, feeling fuller, longer. But at the end of the day, it's whatever works best for you. Jimmy, you mentioned that, hey, I'm not like this guy that can eat 6 small meals a day, chicken breast, rice, vegetables. You mentioned that you don't like vegetables, right? So
yeah, I was just going to say that these probably guys watching are asking, well, how are they getting their vitamins and nutrients? So go ahead.
Yeah. So having supplements in that aspect, right? Maybe like a little, multivitamin or something that's more beneficial, in my opinion, like, something like a greens powder. You're getting all your micronutrients, slam it down, and that way it's over and done with. You don't have to worry about it so much. That way you're getting everything into your system. And to Mark's point, like, sure, it's all process, it's all supplementation, but at the end of the day, like having a protein bar is a lot better than a Milky Way, right? Maybe a taste might be completely different, right? But at the end of the day, what's going to be more beneficial for your fat loss goals? A protein bar. And in today's society, I mean, you mentioned a little bit, Mark, they have protein Snickers bars, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Like
and they're awesome.
They have so many different protein brands out there and protein flavors. You can find something that literally tastes like a candy bar and make it convenient. Myself included, like I said, I have to do the protein sparing, just like you, Jimmy, because it makes sense. I can't be bogged down to when I don't know how to cook, right? 30-year-old man, and I literally don't know how to cook anything. So for anybody that thinks that to join Heartletics, you need to meal prep, I'll be the first one to tell you, like, I don't even know what that means. Okay.
I tell the guys all the time, like, no, man. I said, there's no meal prep.
I may put some thought into what I'm going to eat, but that's a lot different than actually sitting there and meal prepping, which I don't think I ever did. The closest I came to meal prepping was like when I was working at an office, just having my lunch ready to take with me, like the night before, but I never sat and made like a week's worth of meals or any of that. It's just not who I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably a little different than you guys in that, like, I try, like, I'll have like a normal breakfast, normal lunch, normal dinner with protein in it. But then, that's not going to get me to my number. And then I'm adding to that with the shakes and bars and whatever throughout the day. And that's just what works for me. But that's what it all boils down to. What works for you,
Yeah. And that's the main key that we want to make on today's podcast, right? So everybody knows it's whatever works for you, because once again, we all just talked about how like we don't meal prep at all. If we have, Coach Marion here, right? Coach Brian, like they meal prep all the time. So at the end of the day, it's whatever works best for your lifestyle, whatever helps you hit your goals. And at the end of the day, I mean, Nakoma, for example, truck driver, literally eating fast food, drinking alcohol, right? Smashing his beers. Every Tuesday he had, bowling with his buddies, which he was always at the bowling alley. So there was the burgers, the beers, everything like that. He still lost 50 pounds in 90 days. And it's just because of the knowledge, right? And I think it's also the reassurance. Most guys out there, they think like, oh man, I shouldn't be having this. So what happens? They feel guilty the next day. They, feel regret. They go back to their old ways. They throw in the white towel and just kind of give up. We like to educate guys to just say like, okay, hey, listen, like, let's just fit it in, right? Our whole philosophy of Heartletics is, the motto, hey, you can give a man a fish and feed him for a day, or you can teach a man how to fish and feed him for the rest of his life. And honestly, like, when you learn basic calories for your body type and goals to burn body fat, basic macronutrients, which I'll share with you guys real quick. Hey, there's 4 of them, right? 3 main ones, 4th hidden one. So protein, carbs, fats. Your hidden one is alcohol. 1 gram of protein is equal to 4 calories. 1 gram of carb is equal to 4 calories. 1 gram of fat is equal to 9 calories. 1 gram of alcohol is equal to 7 calories. If you ever look on the back of a nutritional fact label, all these grams equal the calories at the end of the day. We'd like to just educate guys and say, hey, don't get confused, right? Keep it simple, stupid. So that way there's not this overanalysis paralysis of what should I do and managing this and whatever the case may be with percentages. It's like, hey, listen, dude, focus on staying within your calorie range, because nobody can be perfect with their calories, right? Can't go to Google, type in a calorie calculator, figure out, okay, hey, 2490 calories on the dot. Nobody can hit that on the dot each and every day. Like, it's not sustainable by any means. So we teach them about having that wiggle room. And then on top of that, man, here's your protein goal. Aim for this. If you happen to hit above that protein goal and stay within that calorie range, you're going to see even better results. And that's been a proven method for the past 6 years. And we've helped thousands of guys, burn anywhere from 20 to 50 pounds of fat in literally 12 weeks just by doing that. So Mark, Jimmy, you guys have anything you want to share last before we wrap things up?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jim.
I was just going to say, I think one thing that really helped me, accept this and quick is, Coach Joe, you told me, your body, when you're consuming these things, it doesn't know you're eating protein powder or you're eating chicken. It breaks it down, protein, and it puts it in its right place. So,
yeah.
Your body knows that you're consuming protein, you're consuming carbs, and breaks it down that way. So your body really doesn't know, the difference between a chicken and a protein shake.
I'm glad you said that. I'm 100% glad you said that, because that's something that I completely forgot about. And obviously that goes through the course, in one of the videos, but you're absolutely right. And that's the mindset, right, of knowing how to create it so that way it's sustainable. And, it's kind of just like you're making these small little tweaks where you're tricking your body into burning more body fat. And it's all because of that knowledge that you gained. Coach Mark, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, if you want more info on this, right, we have a brand new fat loss guide out there. It's really awesome. It'll help you out. So if you go to heartletics.com/fat loss, you can put your email in there and we'll send it right over to you. Great way to get some more info on this topic and other related.
Facts. Love that. And guys, that being said, this has been the Heartletics podcast with Coach Joe, Coach Mark, Coach Jimmy. And as always, we'll talk to you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts.